Today, this Blue Ribbon Committee convenes to confront a matter that strikes at the very core of public trust and governance. The misuse and abuse of the Bureau of Internal Revenue's letter of authority and mission orders. Instruments that by law should protect the integrity of our tax system, but which have reportedly become tools for harassment, coercion, and worse, extortion. For years, small and big businesses mula po sa maliliit na family convenience store hanggang sa malalaking korporasyon have raised serious concerns recently. Many claim that they were subjected not to fair tax assessment, but to pressure, intimidation, and questionable demands in exchange for the withdrawal or softening of tax investigations. Kahit po ang mga international companies, hindi na ninyo pinatawad, pinatos na ninyo. Itong mga kumpanya na ito na nagdadala ng trabaho, teknolohiya at pamumuhunan sa bansa ay hindi raw nakaligtas sa ganitong uri ng pang-aabuso ayon na rin mismo sa iba't ibang foreign chambers of commerce dito sa ating bansa at mismong ang kanilang mga ambassador. Let me be clear. The purpose of the letter of authority and mission order is to ensure that taxes owed to the government are collected properly, transparently, and lawfully. Hindi ito dapat gamitin bilang sandata ng pananakot o instrumento ng korupsyon. Unfortunately, only 2% of the total tax collected by the BIR from the business sector came from LOAs or mission orders. The 98%, ladies and gentlemen, from voluntary tax payments by the businesses. So ibig sabihin, Mr. Chair, 2% lamang ang pumapasok sa kaban ng bayan sa total tax collection. Yung the rest, 98% voluntary. So where did the rest of the collection go from these instruments? E di po sa bulsa ng mga examiner, RDOs at regional directors. Ganito po yung modus, Mr. Chair. 25% lang ng koleksyon kasi napupunta sa gobyerno yung may resibo. 75% goes straight to their pockets. If these complaints are true, then we are looking at systematic abuse that harms not only individual taxpayers, but also the nation's business climate and international reputation. Kapag nawalan po ng tiwala ang negosyo, local man o foreign, nawawala rin po ang trabaho, nawawala ang kita at oportunidad para sa ating mga kababayan. Today, this committee will seek the truth, Mr. Chair. We will examine how LOAs and mission orders have been issued, enforced, and allegedly exploited. We will ask hard questions. We will demand clear answers. And we will hold accountable anyone who has betrayed their sworn duty to serve with integrity. Our goal here is simple: to restore trust, protect our taxpayers, and ensure that public power is never, ever again used for private gain. Maraming salamat po. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chairman Tulfo.
Thank you, Vice.
Senator JB, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To our Senate President, of course, our colleague Senator Tulfo. President, good morning. The very instrument meant to ensure lawful tax compliance is being weaponized for corruption and extortion. Sinimulan po natin buksan ang issue ng pang-aabuso ng ilang kawani ng BIR sa pamamagitan ng issuance ng Letter of Authority o LOA noong Department of Finance briefing para sa 2026 budget. Inulit ko ito sa plenary interpellation ng budget at lumabas na pati pala sa iba pang nating mga kasamahan na senador, marami na rin pong sumbong sa kanila. Lalo na ang mga ambassador at mga miyembro ng American European Chambers ang may umangal na laban sa mga LOA ng BIR at nakakahiya na talaga po tayo. Alam natin na ang mahalagang papel na ginagampanan ng BIR sa pagpopondo ng mga programa ng gobyerno Ngunit base sa mga impormasyon natin, tila na agrabyado ang gobyerno dahil pinagkakitaan din ang tax collection. May mga lumapit po sa ating tanggapan at may kanya-kanyang sumbong, ngunit ang malinaw ay ito. Mayroong umiiral na mga modo sa BIR na nakumpirma natin dahil sa mga nakuha nating mga impormasyon. Ito pong mga sumusunod. Stories ang letters of authority, ang multiple laws. Ang una pong modus base sa mga report sa atin ay ang pag-issue ng multiple laws within a taxable year or succeeding taxable years. Naranasan daw po ito ng mga taxpayer mula sa Quezon City na Jurisdiction and Revenue Region number 7A kung saan sa loob ng 6 na buwan, 4 na LOA ang inisyu sa kanya. Ikinwento na rin po ng isang sender na 4 na beses na siyang nagkaroon ng LOA mula sa BIR Lawag, tig-2 para sa kanilang mini grocery at kainan. Isa lang siyang pangkaraniwang negosyante na nagsusumikap para sa pamilya at sa 3 nilang anak. Utang sa bangko ang kanilang pinambayad sa BIR. Ang isa pa ay bloated or unsupported assessment, Mr. Chair. Bukod po sa multiple LOAs, mayroon din pong lumalabas sa mga report sa atin tungkol sa bloated na halaga ng tax assessment na walang basihan. Ang report po sa atin ay nag-offer, halimbawa ang BIR examiner sa City of Manila, na isettle ang LOA sa halagang 400,000 all-in dahil hindi sila pumapayag sa hinihinging lagay, naglabas ang examiner ng assessment na umabot ng 13 milyon or 13 million pesos. At nakakapagtaka raw dito dahil ang gross sales lang ang nagnegosyo ay 12 million pesos. Hindi pa nababawas sa expenses pero mas malaki pa ang assessment kaysa mismong kinita. Wala ring sapat na suporta o basehang dokumento ang pinapakitang computation. Isang negosyante rin, Mr. Chairman, ang nag-report ng kanyang naranasan kung saan ang original assessment amount niya na umabot ng milyon ng halaga ay na-negotiate niya na bumaba hanggang 500 hanggang 800,000 na lamang. Sa halagang ito, 100,000 lamang ang may resibo at ang balanse ay sa bulsa na napupunta. Ang problema raw, taon-taon na siyang may LOA dahil pumapayag siya sa settlement na lamang. Naging cycle na po tuloy ang extortion. Meron pong nabanggit kanina rin po ang ating kasama si Senator Tulfo, yung po sa scheme, yung 70-30, minsan po ay 75-25 pa. Nabanggit ko na po sa ilang interview tungkol sa 70-30 na modus kung saan mahigit 70% ng halaga ng assessment na binabayar ng taxpayer ay nabubulsa ng mga taga-BIR at halos 30% na lamang ang may resibo at napupunta sa kaban ng bayan. May report din po sa atin sa negotiation pa lamang ay nakaset na ang compromise amount kung saan 20% to 30% lamang ang para sa gobyerno at ang remaining portion ay paghahatian na ng examiners, supervisors at higher-ups kung gaano kataas umabot ang kickback. Yan po ang dapat nating alamin. Ang isa pa ho ay extortion in the guise of compromise. Naranasan na isang korporasyon sa Bulacan ang modus na extortion in the guise of compromise. Sa impormasyon na nakarating sa amin, ang tax examiner ang mismong nag-aalok ng mas mababang halaga para sa 30 milyon na deficiency na inoffer na 1.2 million na lamang at 800,000 for the boys at 400,000 ang nasa resibo. Mas malaki po ang kickback kaysa sa resibo. Sa isang report natin, lantaran na tinatanong isang examiner kung magkano ang budget. Malaki o maliit ang isang negosyo, target ka ng BIR at pareho po mga kwento ng mga business owners na ito. Nagagamit ang LOA sa harassment, coercion at pilit na negosasyon. Ang negotiation ay hindi upang maresolba ang tax deficiency, kundi ito ay upang masigurado ang halaga na mapunta sa kanila. Sa halip na tulungan natin ang ating mga kababayan na lumago ang negosyo, ginigipit pa ang pinagkakakitaan. Takot din po ang ating mga kababayan na magsumbong sa BIR offices dahil sa pangamba na mas lalo sila pag-iinitan at gipitin. Mr. Chairman, sabi nga po nag-email sa akin ng kanyang LOA experience ay 2 klase daw ang tax natin ayon sa BIR. Ang unang klase, magkano sa BIR, at ang pangalawa naman, magkano ang sa amin. Nakakalungkot po na mula sa isang malaking ahensya gaya ng DPWH hanggang sa isang bureau katulad ng BIR, kanya-kanyang scheme, modus at kanya-kanyang scam na ang ating mga kababayan. Nagsimula sa floodgates, ngayon naman po ay LOA naman po. Mr. Chairman, we have to stop this culture of corruption that is now plaguing this country. Mr. Chair, maasa po ako na magiging ng committee na ito upang matigil na itong ganitong pang-aabuso sa ating mga kababayan. Makikinig po tayo at maghahanap ng mga kasagutan at solusyon. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator JB. Point of clarification lang, are all or some of these narrations in affidavit forms? On
Mr. Chair,
affidavits?
most of them are sa mga emails that were sent to my office. We will be submitting the same to the committee.
Kasi alam nyo naman, you and I know na dalawa yung aspects ng mandate ng Blue Ribbon, di ba? Inquiry in aid of legislation, yung sa accountability of public officers, and investigation. The other aspect could lead us to filing criminal complaints, no? Administrative and criminal complaints against those who may be held accountable for their action. So kaya ako tinanong kung naka-affidavit form or if at all, kung mako-convert natin into affidavit or sworn statements yung mga narrations. Kasi these are damning narrations, di ba? Or experiences.
Yes, we will do our best, Mr. Chair. As you all know, lahat naman ng tao, mostly businesses are afraid.
Takot. Yeah,
Takot talaga sa
understand.
BIR. Lahat naman tayo, kahit ako, takot sa BIR eh. So we will do our best that we will be able to submit some in affidavit form, Mr. Chair.
Para magkaroon lang para maging admissible lang.
Same thing with this
some other time. Yes, Vice
representation.
Chairman.
Same thing with this representation, Mr. Chair. We will ask these people because they just sent emails. Some of them are like cooperatives. We will communicate with them to send us affidavits, Mr. Chair. So that
Or we
can-
may invite them, para dito
I
sila
don't think
mag-testify.
they will be interested in coming over, Mr. Chair. Because sabi nga po ni Senator JB, kinakatakutan po ang BIR. Mas takot pa po ang mga negosyante sa BIR kaysa sa mga NBI, police. Makakita lang po ng BIR, nagsasara na agad ng tindahan, ng bahay. How much more pupunta dito face to face, tuturo ito mga ito. So, I don't think, Mr. Chair, they'll probably submit an affidavit, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, for the information of the body, I personally invited Attorney Kim Menares to join us this morning. Wala tayong invitation sa kanya eh. So in-invite ko siya kasi she stayed in the bureau, I think for the longest time, full 6 years under the term of former or the late President Aquino. And I thought na she could help us shed light or even enlighten us. Bigyan tayo ng parang walkthrough do sa process on how laws are issued hanggang sa termination. Paano nagko-conclude? Tapos ano yung pakinabang ng gobyerno out of the laws issued and other issuances like MOs, di ba? Merong mission order and other activities like the formation of task forces. So gusto nating ma-account ano ba yung accomplishment. We don't really care that much kung ilang task force yung kinrate nyo, pero dapat merong output, hindi ba? Natural lamang. So, with that, with your permission, with your indulgence, Mr. Senate President, Senator Tulfo, may well, teka muna. Meron ba kayong opening statement, Secretary Go? Opening remarks?
Your Honor, I may make one?
Yes.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, please. Your recognition after you, maybe the incumbent and the two former commissioners. The other will just respond to questions. Thank you. Please proceed, Secretary Go.
Thank you. The Honorable Senate President, the Honorable Chairman, Senator Lacson, the Honorable members of this committee, the Secretariat, my colleagues in public service, fellow Filipinos, good morning. Thank you for inviting us today, the Department of Finance and the Bureau of Internal Revenue. The DOF extends its full support and cooperation in addressing the long-standing concerns of our taxpayers regarding red tape, audits, and alleged weaponization of letters of authority and mission orders. These concerns go to the heart of our mandate to uphold integrity in tax administration and protect the rights of the Filipino taxpayer. Allow me to state at the outset that we welcome this investigation. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has made it unequivocally clear we will not tolerate corruption in government. The state's power to tax must always be exercised with fairness, transparency, and accountability. As such, we are committed to instituting reforms, correcting gaps, and ensuring that our systems are accountable and truly responsive. Consistent with the President's marching order, my first major directive as Secretary of Finance was the temporary suspension of all field audits and related operations effective immediately. This was formalized under RMC number 107/2025. BIR Commissioner Charlie Mendoza and I are fully aligned with the President's goal of cleaning up the system, restoring integrity and public confidence, and implementing reforms. I would like to reiterate, Your Honors, we will not condone any form of harassment, let alone corruption. With the support of our revenue authorities and stakeholders, we are determined to put a definite end to these alleged abuses. The Bureau of Internal Revenue is currently working on several key reforms. I will leave that to the Commissioner to expound on those plans and reforms that we are planning. The DOF remains fully committed to working with the Senate and all our stakeholders to pursue reforms that strengthen governance and deliver a fair, transparent, and predictable tax system. Reforms that will empower the Filipino taxpayer to contribute actively and confidently to the nation's growth. With this, I respectfully submit myself to the committee's questions. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Secretary Go. Commissioner Mendoza.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Honorable Senate President, the Honorable Chairman of the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, the members of the committee, my fellow public servants, good morning. We from the BIR appear before you today with openness and humility to respond to and to clarify the issues that brought us here, and to listen, learn, and work with the Senate to strengthen our tax system for the Filipino people. Recent public concerns about the issuance of the audit authority, redundancies, and inconsistent enforcement resulting in growing taxpayer frustration deserve careful and transparent examination. We welcome this scrutiny that requires us to look at the system as a whole. We must recognize that the problems before us are twofold. First, there are issues in enforcement, how BIR's audit authority is exercised on the ground. We acknowledge the need to reduce discretion, strengthen accountability, and ensure consistent implementation across all offices. Enforcement must be firm, predictable, transparent, and anchored in fairness. Second, we must address the clarity of our rules and the strength of our monitoring and oversight. Faithful compliance with audit procedures requires rules that are clear, justified, and free from ambiguity. We must eliminate arbitrariness, remove repetitive or overlapping issuances, and establish near-time monitoring of ongoing audits. These improvements, many of which can be enabled with the help of an integrated digital system, will reinforce the checks and balances between enforcement and oversight. Rebuilding trust requires reform on both fronts, correcting how enforcement is carried out and ensuring that rules and oversight mechanisms are clear, consistent, and transparent. When the system itself demonstrates integrity, voluntary compliance follows, not because of fear of punitive action, but because taxpayers can rely on a process that is fair and predictable. 2 weeks ago, we temporarily suspended the issuance of letters of authority to give us the space to reevaluate and revamp the audit process. We view today's hearing as an accelerator of that work. We recognize that the reforms ahead must be pursued in partnership with the private sector and our stakeholders, the DOF, and critically with Congress, because legislation and internal governance must advance together for reforms to take root. Our goal is simple: a tax system that is fair, transparent, credible, and effective for national growth, implemented with service excellence, rooted in integrity and professionalism. Mr. Chair, honorable members of the committee, we sincerely and respectfully stand ready to work with you towards reforms that will strengthen our tax system and better serve the Filipino people. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Mendoza. Commissioner Lumagi.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, members of the Blue Ribbon Committee. To everyone, good morning. I have no prepared statement, but first, let me recognize that, or let me acknowledge that itong issue po na ito ay talagang malaking bagay. And from the very beginning, when I was appointed in 2022, November, that was the first thing that pinag-isipan po natin na i-address po yan. That's why when I started in 2022, I crafted my approach in BIR into 4 pillars, which are: number 1, integrity and professionalism of the institution and its employees. Yan po yung isang pangunahing programa na inilatag po natin. And number 2, of course, in conjunction with the excellent bringing about the integrity and professionalism of the institution, we focused also on the digitalization program of the BIR. That would focus also on the integrity and professionalism as well as give excellent taxpayer service. Kaya naman po dun sa pangatlong programa po na inilatag po namin ay yung pagbibigay ng magandang serbisyo sa ating mga kababayan na nagtatransact sa iba't ibang ahensya ng gobyerno ng BIR. At pang-apat po, of course, to level the playing field dahil ito pong fearless and aggressive enforcement activities which are meant not just to collect taxes from the big-time tax evaders. Again, ang naging focus po ng mga task force at ng mga ginawa po natin na paghabol sa mga tax evaders ay ito pong mga malalaking mga negosyante na napatunayan po natin na nag-evade ng mga taxes. That's why we went all-out war. We waged all-out war against illicit trades and all these illicit traders. And this is also, again, as I've mentioned, not just to collect taxes from these big-time tax evaders, but also to protect the legitimate taxpayers and legitimate businesses because we want to level the playing field. Gusto po natin na ipakita sa ating mga negosyante na kapag kayo po ay nagnenegosyo ng tapat, ay mas magiging maayos ang pagnenegosyo ninyo at tutulungan ng BIR. Yan po yung naging focus ng stint ko po as BIR commissioner. That's why ang naging resulta naman po kahit paano, of course, I'm recognizing that there's a big problem that still exists and needs to be addressed. But in that course po, marami po tayong na nakasuhan ng mga big-time tax evaders. Ilang daang milyon po ang mga nakolekta natin from them. And also, in the history po, malaki po yung naging collection. We for the past 20 years, ngayon lang po na-attain noong 2024, na-attain ng BIR ang collection target set by DBCC. At yan po ay resulta ng ating magandang pangongolekta ng buwis. And also, we were likewise recognized by different several agencies like yung pong civil service na we were given a plaque of recognition for outstanding performance in complaints resolution and compliance in 2024 and 2025. We were also given a plaque of recognition by the Careers Executive Service Board for attaining 100% efficient and effective management of our agency. At yung amin pong resolution rate ng mga complaints with 888, 100% resolution rate. At pinapakita lang po natin na nung panahon po natin ay we take all these complaints seriously and we always act on all these complaints. And all of these complaints, again, as patunay po na inaaksyonan po natin ang naging decisions po at resolutions and formal charges na naitala po nung panahon ko po ay mahigit 132 cases including mga nagsagawa rin po tayo ng mga